everyone. My name is Twan Burgess. This recording is for STEM 185. I would like to welcome everybody to what I'm calling basically human technology. As a form of introduction, we're going to address some of the areas um, in human evolution. Things like, when humans founded a certain idea, they got good at it, and how that could progress or benefit the uh, vast majority of humanity. If you hear some noise, that's my raggedy chair I'm sitting in. So, class, we'll be talking about some points in the timeline, some of the events or before human had an established system of recording. Not to discount our ancestors that wrote and drew on caves, just dealing with the system that we currently use, right? So we're just talking about, a documented system when you go back and find books throughout different cultures, tablets throughout different cultures, stating that these things happened. So this is a screenshot of what my timeline initially looked like from the last peer review session, and some of the areas of growth that I would like to point out is that humans developed the knowledge of fire. Not saying that they didn't know what fire was before, but just to point out they knew how they could make fire, by rubbing two sticks together, flint stones, carrying things such as kindling in order to start fires in different environments, being able to preserve fire, during times of rain. So whenever they needed to cook uh, animals in order to absorb the nutrients, they could be able to do that in order to use fire as a weapon, as far as fighting off or warding off, large animals, predators and whatnot. In addition to that, I think another great point in human evolution as far as like technology, the working knowledge of agriculture, so humans were originally thought to be hunter gatherers, which means they went out and they gathered fruits and berries and um, small things they could eat, hunting large prey such as, your deer, antelope, whatever the case may be, frogs, snakes, and perfecting that and being able to say, well, hey, not only can we eat these items, we can also eat these items. And they started growing things such as let's just say corn, squash, um, watermelons, uh, you know, planting various fruit trees throughout their migration path where the animals was going. Humans became more dominant in controlling their environment and vice versa, letting the environment control them and how they live their lifestyle. I think that's just one of the basic things that humans have, conquered in order to help us get to where we are today. We pretty much run the planet. Um, we've gotten so good at what we've done. You can sit in your house and order food, like in your air conditioned house. I'm here in Texas and it's 105 degrees outside. So that's pretty it's pretty amazing. So not only that, they understood hydroculture, how to use water to get power. They understood pottery, storing, excuse me, storing items in pots in order to keep them cooler. Like there's a potted refrigeration system where it's an inner pot and an outer pot, and the outer pot surrounded with like dirt or whatnot to keep the inner items cooler. You know, just keep the ambient air temp a little cooler than what's outside. It's a pretty nice system. So another milestone invention of human uh, scientific prowess would be the use of a thermometer to be able to tell, what temperature it is. I saw a video on YouTube explaining how they understood the vacuums and then they used mercury to it's a pretty amazing video. But we're going to move on to the next part. I think another one of our great inventions was the invention of the barometer, the invention of the telescope, a marine chronometer, and this was a device used marine relating to the sea as far as a navigation tool. So once humans have cultivated and dominated their particular part of the earth, they were free to grow grain, store grain, uh, farm animals, store animals, smoke meat for a long period, so to preserve it for longer periods of time. I don't even know what that was. And then they were able to, navigate the planet through ships, walking, horseback, camelback. Humans are a pretty amazing species. I am impressed, but I may be biased. All right, so then we're going to go into the industrial use of wood, right? So in our evolution, we have learned to use things commercially. So you can cut down wood and use the beams in order to build houses. This is an industrial use. Like you don't even have to do the work. We'll do the work for you, but we'll charge you for the work, but you still get the product that you want. And it creates sort of an economy. So the industrial use of wood, the industrial use of wind for power. So not only do you have hydropower, now you have wind power. You, I'm just telling you, man. I think humans are amazing. A Now we used to sail the oceans using sails and currents, but then they came up with this concept of the steamboat in 1783. In 1783, even if the currents were slow, you could still use the currents, but you could have additional power to get you there a little faster. Or if the currents were going in the wrong direction, you could still go that way and sail against the current. Like that was a technological breakthrough to help, I'm saying man, but I mean mankind, help man navigate and conquer the oceans to a certain extent. Things of invention such as the sewing machine, I think that was a milestone. So you could industrialize the making of clothes. You make an industry out of it. So selling clothes, and it morphed into the fashion industry, like um, other particular areas of growth. I mean, I'm gonna go through these fairly quick. Um, the inventions of plastics. Think how different your life would be if you didn't have plastics in your life. Things such as water bottles, chairs, cars. Um, the use of the telephone. I remember when you would have to pay for long distance phone calls. That's a thing of the past. Calling operators to help you. That's pretty much a thing of the past too. You know, everything's pretty much automated instead of operator. Um, the invention of the incandescent light bulb in 1879. We got things like the invention of the radio in 1894. We know how important that was. The invention of the television in 1927. The invention of the transistor. The invention of the laser in 1958. The invention of the personal computer, which I'm sitting at right now, which has revolutionized learning per se. If everybody can remember back just 3 years ago when we had the COVID pandemic, everyone, well, not everyone, but a lot of kids are learning at home online using. My daughter had an iPad, um, but laptops, smartphones, wireless technology. So I think the human evolution, it just builds upon one idea and go to the next idea and go to the next idea, and I think it's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. Um, Let me know if you guys can hear it. I appreciate your time. I didn't want to go 10 minutes, but sometimes I can't stop talking. And I would like to thank you and have a great day. See you later, classmates.